Look, we don't need to find a replacement. We just need to find somebody that wants to play and play now. Fin fans up north, fin fans in the south, to the east and to the west. What's better than this? More of this. Let's talk about it. Alright, so before we jump into everything, just want to say if you guys are new to the channel and you like the comment, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. It's going to help us reach our milestones. And too, if you are already subscribers and you guys are grabbing the t-shirts, I want to say a big thank you, because without it, we couldn't be doing what we're doing. And we do put all of our all into at least trying to have fun and make this a fun channel here. And because we support the NFL, and we most importantly, we support the Miami Dolphins. And with all that, I just want to say thank you. Now let's get to it. So moving on into week 6, we're going to be playing the Minnesota Vikings, and we're going to be playing the Vikings in Miami. And you know, one thing about the Vikings is that the Vikings, they run a lot of pass plays. What's going to be happening with the Vikings is that they are going to be reaching out to Jefferson and the number 19, their wide receiver, there a lot. That's what they did against the Bears, and pretty much that's what they've been doing all season long. You know, they're gonna open up the run game with Dalvin Cook through the passing, and they're gonna try to exploit, you know, our secondary. And Dalvin Cook, you know, he is a premier running back and should not be taken lightly. And actually, he's way more. He has way more creds than Breece Hall at this time. So, you know, if we take the opportunity that we have on defense, I'm going to start with defense first, because you know that was part of our main issue against the Jets. And the Jets' offense isn't as dynamic as the Vikings. So it's like what we're going to really have to do to have a chance with the Vikings is that we are going to have to, first and foremost, sack Cousins early and quick. The thing about that, though, the Minnesota Vikings have a pretty stout offensive line. You know, they had like one sack that got through. You didn't see a lot of pressures come through, even with Raquan on there, out there for the Bears. You know, pressuring and Quinn. You know, you just didn't see a lot of pressures come in on Cousins. So we're gonna have to figure out a way where we can, where we could do that, and not only put the pressure on him, but sack him. Because what they're going to do is they're going to try to target the middle first and exploit that. And then, depending on who's on the sides, if it's Noah, they're going to eat all day. They're going to eat all day. It's like they have an elite wide receiver set. And what they were doing against the Bears is that's how they opened up their run game, is with passing. It was just an air attack. You know, Jefferson here, the KJ in the middle, over the middle. Then you know their number 2, they was hitting him a couple of times, and then they start feeding Dalvin Cook. So on defense, you know, one of the main things we're gonna have to do is definitely pressure, and not just pressure, but sack Cousins, like continuously, constantly, from the start of the whistle to the end of the whistle. That's what it's gonna have to be, and we're gonna have to find some ways to get to him. he's not a running quarterback, so there, but he will run. He probably runs probably a little bit more less than Zach Wilson did, which Zach Wilson did very little running, but when he did score, and he had a couple good gains and stuff. However, though, Cousins doesn't really do all that, and he's not just gonna stand there and take the sack either. But the thing is, though, we have a chance to get to him and make them sacks happen, regardless if he don't want them. And the other thing we're gonna need to do, as I was saying before, is about the passing game. We're gonna, I'm not really for certain who we'd put like on Jefferson, their number one, because we really don't have any elite corners outside of. I mean, you have Eric Rowe. Eric Rowe, I think, is like a shadow of himself right now. Like, from the days when he was in New England, and from, I believe it was last year or the year before. He's just, I don't know. He just seems like he's just not with it right now. This could be the game where he stands out and he really shines. But we're gonna really need somebody to play Jefferson, because they're gonna feed Jefferson. They're gonna try to feed Jefferson a lot against this secondary, and we cannot have Noah Igbinoghene out there. Under no reason, under no circumstances, should that man be out there, on the field. Period. Like, I was going back through some of the film against the Jets when he was out there, and forget how many snaps he was out there for, but I'm just going to let you know that when he was out there and you looked his number up, he definitely showed for the wrong reasons. So we're gonna really need to shut Jefferson down. If we want a chance, we have to shut Jefferson down, make him work the number 2 and 3 options, which the number 2 option, he's exceptional. He's exceptional as well. However, though, if we could shut down at least the number 1, we'll have a chance at closing down the running lanes, because they like to feed him quite often and a lot. And if we can get somebody to at least cover, their number 2, it might, put. It might take away some of that confidence, that Cousins has, when, that he has when Jefferson's in the game. You understand? Jefferson is like he's another version of Diggs, but he plays for the Vikings, like Diggs did play for the Vikings. So it's like when Jefferson's in the game, of course, Cousins' confidence is at all-time high. So if we can shut that down, we'll have a chance to shut the running game down before they get a good rhythm going. And that's going to be monumental to us winning this game, is shutting down Jefferson. I think he's the key to it all, is to shut Jefferson down and sack Cousins and plug up the lanes. In fact, there's no there's no such thing as making him run inside or just letting him bounce outside. What we're gonna have to do is just plug it up, because Dalvin Cook has the juice to take it to the house. Not to say Breece Hall didn't, but I'm just saying we can't have big chunk yards like Breece Hall was getting. And in order to do that, we got to clog up the lanes. And clogging up the lanes means that you're always pressuring. It means that we're not coming out of our man-to-man. We're not going into zones, because that zone, that's what be tearing us up. I think we need to figure out something else besides that. But that, for the type of talent we have out there, I don't think that zone really matches, what we got going on, with our talent. Now, offensively, like what we're gonna have to do, we're gonna have to execute and the execution has to be sharp and precise and deliberate, meaning that, when the running backs hit the hole, they hit the hole hard. Like Moser, he was hitting the hole hard. I give him credit for that. He was hitting the hole hard. There were lanes there, and he was getting what they were giving. However, though, we got baited into just running the ball because the Jets stayed in their cover 2 defense, which for the life of me, I don't understand why we just continue to run and just take whatever they was gonna give us. We should have kept trying it. At least if we were trying it, we were getting pass interference calls, right? So I would keep pushing it, and at the same time keep feeding Moser the ball. Let him or whoever's gonna be running the rock for us, do what they need to do. And shoot, if they want to stay in the cover 2, let them stay in the cover 2. But we're still going over top of you, and they are susceptible over the top. Their corners aren't that good, but they do have a strong second or safety, and it's like we can still eat on top, but we could dine. We could definitely dine in in the running game, and if that's what it's going to be to open everything up, then we need to do that. I think our quarterback position. What we're going to have to do is we're definitely just going to have to get the ball out. If we know that we're going to be taking a sack, it's like just throw the ball out of bounds. Just in the vicinity of the receiver, but out of bounds if you get a chance. Don't hold on to the ball and let him sack it, twirl you around, and you wind up fumbling. We can't be having all that again. And we need just better play calling. Way better play calling, and the quarterbacks need to make the adjustments that they see fit, especially if we're back on the goal line on the first play of the game, like Teddy was, when Teddy should have made the right adjustments. Because if you saw the guy coming over, and you're looking across the offense and you see this one guy over there, I don't know, but in order for us to get some points on the board, I think, and to to really open it up, our receivers gonna have to catch the ball. We're gonna have to just go over the top. I mean, they know it's coming. They want to prevent it from coming, and we can't be, swindled into, playing their type of game by letting them get whatever we want underneath, but not trying to take the shots we need to take over the top, because that's really the game they want us to play, is the underneath game, and that's not that's not good for us. That's not good for the speed that we have and the type of offense that we have. The Bears the outcome of the game probably could have been different if the Bears receivers would be catching the balls, because there were a lot of deep passes that was thrown, and the receivers had the hands on the ball, but they just didn't bring it down. So that's what I'm saying. The secondary isn't that strong. They do have a pretty decent safety out there, but all in all, the secondary is not that strong, and that's where the weakness is going to be. And if we're going to win this game, we're going to have to attack the weakness and just take the PI if it comes with it. So, we can't get, we just can't get, swindled into playing their game. All right. Now, there's about 7 players that we need to watch, okay? And, first and foremost, the quarterback situation, right? We have Skyler out there, and Skyler, I think Skyler is a good quarterback. I think he's a gunslinger, and he's going to be good. It was his first game, so I'm glad he got it out of his system. And if he's starting over Teddy, he can at least settle down now and get to getting with the rhythm and the timing of the passing plays, and making better decisions with delivering the rock, that just like he was doing in preseason. If it's Teddy, I hope he's calling the right plays, as far as making the right calls and the adjustments that need to be made, so there's no clean hits on him like that, like there was. And two, I'm hoping that, you know, that might have knocked some of that finesse stuff out of him, and made him just like pick his game up a little bit more with a little bit more urgency, okay, and get him back in the mindset. Okay, this is football. This isn't retirement. If that's what he's gonna do, and what we need to do also is watch Reed Sennett. Is Reed Sennett gonna be out there too? Is he gonna be activated to show up just in case? What if Teddy is not there? Are they gonna activate Reed Sennett there? Or if Teddy is there, are they gonna let Skyler just go ahead and take over and have Teddy back him up? So that's what we want to watch out for. Then on the offensive line, we're looking for Teron Armstead, and hopefully, they said there was nothing too serious with the injury of his toe. We definitely want to watch that though, and see what's going to be happening if he's going to be playing, because we really need him out there. We really need him out there. I cannot think of who number 71 is still. Whoever number 71 is, if 71's out there, the Vikings have some defensive ends that are very persistent, I'll say, and they really, really, had a lot of pressure on Fields. So if number 71's out there and Greg Little is getting beat up on the other side again, it's going to be a long day for our offense, okay? Because we need these. We need the time for Skyler to get out there and pass. No quarterback is going to be able to pass the ball if they're under constant duress. So it's like we're going to be looking at Teron Armstead to see if he's coming back. Hope he does. And then if number 7, I can't think of that dude's name, but we need to not even let that dude take the field, okay? I mean, we need to find a replacement for him or something, because that dude was trash, just straight up trash. Greg Little, he was a letdown, and hopefully he could pick it back up. And Eichenberg, Eichenberg needs to get, his head out his ass and just look for a block instead of looking behind him to see if the running back is coming up behind him or not. Coming on his hip, he just needs to look for a block and just understand that the play's still going on until the whistle blows. There's no way you could block with your head turned behind your back. It's crazy. So, Eichenberg needs to do that and pick up his blocks. And, picking up blocks, we talking about running backs. If Mozart's in there, Mozart's going to have to pick up his blocks. It's going to have to be more than just a chest bump. He's really going to have to, put his hands on the dude, and he's going to have to block, if that's what the play calls for. Because it's an all-team effort. You just can't, you just can't, sit there and want to shine. And when you're not shining, you kind of have go through the motions. You can't do that. It's a whole 100, or you just stay home. If you don't want a whole 100, or just stay home. So with Mozart, he's gonna have to block too. And while we're on the running backs, Chase Edmonds. Chase dropped a good pass against the Cincinnati Bengals. And that was the first touchdown pass in that game. Then he dropped another pass just this last week. I'm starting to get concerned about Chase. I'm thinking maybe he's with it or not. We're gonna find out this game. If it's 3 games in a row where he's dropping stuff, I'm sorry. He's just gonna have to. Well, maybe we'll just have to run Gaskins or something. Or you know what? Actually, I would. Brings Zakondre White up, okay? If Chase wants to play games, let's go ahead and activate Zakondre White, and let's just get that started too, since we're getting started on rookies and everything, right? So if I think if Chase does this again, they should just go ahead and activate Zakondre White. And, let Chase sit and think about some things for a little bit. Zakondre White got speed, too. Just as much as all of them. So, and I think I trust Zakondre White more than I trust Gaskins. Now, thinking about the wide receivers, what we need to be looking at is Tyreek. Our go-to guy. He was in a he was in a boot. I guess the little injury he had was minor, and hopefully he'll be playing. And if he is playing, is he going to be going 100%? That's going to be something we're going to be looking at too and trying to consider. And then, it's like, when are they going to bring Eric Isnacom in there? I think that, if anything, when Cedric Wilson missed that pass, perhaps they should have took him out and brought in Eric Isacom and start feeding him against the Jets. Letting him get letting him get his cleats a little dirty. However, though, they didn't do that, and we went on ahead and took that L. Now in this game here against the Vikings, we have a chance to really, bring him on board. Now River Craycraft, he's been very good, and Sherfield, he's been very good as well. Cedric Wilson, we're still looking for what he has been picked up from what he was doing in Dallas, okay? And, we're in we're going into the 6th week now, and, no matter how you look at it, it's crunch time for us. It's crunch time for us because, a couple weeks ago, we were sitting on top of the AFC East, and now we're like 3rd place, and, it's not gonna, the season is not gonna get any easier, and no game is gonna be as tough as the games that we are slated to go against that week. So basically, we're gonna have to go hard. From here on out, we're just gonna have to go hard. And with Tyreek possibly being out, like I said, are they gonna activate Eric? And make some moves. Maybe. Yep. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen with Cedric Wilson there, and hopefully, if we decide that he don't start, we can get Eric Isacom in there. I'd like to see what he's gonna do. I guess it's never too early. And it's never too late, except for at the end of the season. So let's see what we can do to get him in there. Defensively, I think I want to see what's going to happen with the cornerbacks. Players we need to watch. Well, the player we definitely need to watch is, I would say Eric Rowe. Because and I mentioned it earlier, to me, his gameplay has become very sloppy and lazy. And, they had a point, Miami had a point in there where they had Eric Rowe and Noah Igbenogany in there. And, Eric looked just as bad as Noah. And, Lord, please, I hope that they do not put Noah in the game. Noah's not ready. Not for the Miami Dolphins defense anyway. I don't think he is. He could be, but he was, the Jets were living on him, in the flats over there. Corey Davis especially. So I want to see what's going to happen with Eric Rowe. If X isn't in the game, I want to see what's going to happen with Eric Rowe and Carson. I know that Kohu, he does a solid job. He's still learning. He's a rookie. He does a solid job, and he really is making a name for himself out there in the secondary. And he's not scared of the confrontation. In fact, he seeks it. So I like that. In our corners, I just want to know what's going to happen. Who's going to be taking over his spot, or who's going to be taking over the other spot that's going to be vacant out there. Is it going to be Eric Rowe? Are they going to put Noah back out there? Needham, and even with Needham, he's playing very well, but I think he could play a little bit better. So there's a lot to see. Lastly, I want to see Jason Sanders. Last 5 games, he's missed like 2-3 field goals. clutch. I mean, this is all this man does. I understand the last one was like, what, 50, was it 56, 54, 56 yards? And that's about his max. You know, it just, it'd be nice to get some of that, you know, back. I mean, you know, you hate when you leave points on the field like that. And, you know, special teams is always going to be something I'm going to be looking for, because it's an integral part of what we're doing here. And, you know, it helps us, it helps us win, right? So, you know, I'm going to be curious to see what's going to be happening with that. So, if you guys have any questions, comments, please drop them below. And if you guys are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. It's gonna help us reach our milestone. And 2, if you guys are already subscribers and you guys are grabbing t-shirts, just want to say thank you guys. It really helps us out a lot. And you know, we have fun doing this. And you know, I have artists that I work with, you know, putting some t-shirts together, and we hope that you guys really like them. And just want to say thank you guys. Love y'all. Deuces. Alright, so football season's began, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be starting Thursday. This Thursday here, or actually every Thursday, is we're going to be doing our odd and gamble. And basically the odds are going against the gamble. And these are 2 characters I created. You know, odd is a card, he's an ace card, and gamble is a house poker chip. And basically these 2 pit against each other, and how it works is that the odds, you know, of our team winning is pretty much predicated by the things that are happening, like with the players, with the weather, with the field, and anything that's not you know, predicated to the house. So those are the odds, okay? And the gamble is what's the casino saying, you know, what is like all the betting sites saying. So that's the house, and that's gamble. So every week we're gonna go by game. You guys choose, you know, what are the odds that the Dolphins are gonna win, or is it a gamble that the Dolphins are gonna win with the, you know, what they're saying against each other. So you just choose odd or just choose gamble, and you know, I'll do the rest. And then Sunday before kickoff, you know, like, you know, an hour before kickoff, I'll, you know, give the results of who's winning, okay? So that's how we're going to do that. So odd and gamble starting this week, and, you know, every Sunday I'm going to drop the results for that, okay? Good deal. So let's have some fun this season, and, you know, we're 1-0. So let's have some fun this season, and let's try to get to the Super Bowl. Fin fans up north, fin fans in the south, to the east and to the west. What's better than this? More of this. Let's talk about it. Don't forget to take a look at our gear. Clicking with the Fin Fan. You can check out the links below. And also know that your support with this helps our artist, and it also helps what we're doing here with Clicking with the Fin Fan. And a good thing about it all is you also get free shipping with that. So just take a look at the gear that we got. Grab something for you, your boo, significant other, your kids, whatever, and help support what we're doing here, and we appreciate it a lot. Thank you.